It is a great day to be alive in Pittsburgh, PA. Bright and early this morning. Welcome into another edition of Kaboly+Mack. Good morning, friends, Yinzers, countrymen. A lot to talk about ahead of Mike Tomlin's press conference later today. You can follow us on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Of course, subscribe on YouTube. Just search Kaboly+Mack. When we get to 3,018 subscribers, big giveaway planned. Another big giveaway planned too there, Kaboom, that we got to talk about in a second. We'll get into all the business of things.
Great.
There's a lot going on, but we appreciate each and every one of you for supporting us and watching the show. Want to thank Southwest Greens for being on board from the very beginning. You want to have grass that never needs to be mowed, fertilized, watered, maintained, any of that, Southwest Greens can do it. Yep. It'll look, feel, and act like natural grass in just about any environment. Southwest Greens artificial grass, the ideal hardy alternative to your natural lawns that you got to spray the weed killer on sometimes. You got to water in the middle of the summer. You got to mow all the time. Perfect for the family and the pets. Go check them out, southwestgreenspa.com. An early edition of the show today, Kaboom, because, well, there's the Mike Tomlin press conference at noon. We wanted to get ahead of that. And also, you got to get a big needle stuck in your knee, don't you?
Yep. Well, what time is it? About 2 hours. Go up to see Doc. Walk in. Have the stuff ready. And within 24 to 36 hours, I'm a new man.
A little cortisone action.
Cortisone, pain stuff. I mean, it lasts three months, right? And boy, do they know it lasts 3 months. On the dot, man. Woo! Hey, but then I'll be able to walk some.
That'll be good. That'll be good. You walking better than you do without the cortisone shot.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Is it really? How big is the needle? I want to know. How big is the needle?
Well, it goes through one side into the middle, so it's at least that big, I guess.
But, like, how big around? Is it like you're shoving a drinking straw in your knee?
What's tough is if he has to drain it first. That's when there's added pain to it because you drain it first, then you stick another needle into it, and boom, bam, good to go.
If you say so.
Honestly, what would you rather have? 3 seconds of pain or 3 months of pain? Come on.
That's true. Okay, good point. You're a man. You can take it. You'll be fine.
I won't even feel it. Well,
you get yourself like a special treat after your knee shot. Like you go, hey, you know what? Screw it. I'm stopping at Dunkin' for an extra large coffee today.
Actually, it's not that far from the old Pittsburgh Brewing Company, so maybe I should go up there.
Oh, get yourself a celebratory mango.
Yeah, but I'll probably just go down to Mike Tomlin and try to find a parking place where there is none, so I'll probably have to walk 6 miles and my knee will hurt again.
I feel for you, bud.
Unless the kid pukes upstairs and I got to stay home.
No, he's home sick? Jeez.
I'm telling you, these rugrats go into, first, second, third, fourth, fifth grade. I think they lick the dirt or something because as soon as they get back to school, they're all sick. It's crazy.
As I mentioned, make sure you're subscribed on YouTube because when we get to that magical number of 3,018 subscribers, our friends at First and Goal Sports out at South Hills Village are going to hook you up. Your choice of either an autographed Will Howard Steelers helmet or the autographed Stone Cold Steve Austin black leather vest. And that's not all they're hooking you up with. In fact, this week only, they are giving away a ticket to the Marc-Andre Fleury signing that they are holding Saturday, September 20th. How's that sound? You like that, Kaboom?
The Flower. I heard he's a great human.
He is.
I heard other stuff about him. He's kind of, how can I put this? Unfiltered?
Yeah, he'll say whatever the hell he wants to. A Penguin's great. An NHL great. Marc-Andre Fleury at First and Goal Collectibles in South Hills Village going to be holding an autograph signing in cooperation with TSE. And you can still get tickets, less than 100 left. You can give them a call at 412-854-5200 or go to tseshop.com, or you could win one this week. And all we're going to do is when we put out clips of the show later today, after the show's done, and then the rest of the week, we'll make sure to post in there. that you repost the clip and you'll be in the running. End of the week, we'll give it away. Maybe we'll wait till Monday. Should we wait till Monday?
Now the question is, only the people that reposted are eligible? Is that what we're saying?
You got to repost and follow.
Only the reposters.
Reposters and followers, okay?
And followers.
So repost. You got to be following Kaboly+Mack. If we see that you reposted, but you're not yet following the official show account on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it.
What about YouTube?
YouTube subscribers are in the running for the Will Howard helmet and the Stone Cold Steve Austin
YouTube. Okay, so we get the rules down.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of giveaways, thanks to our friends at First and Goal Sports. So we'll post it later, like I said, after the show, and make sure you understand exactly how it works. But we want to get you a ticket for the Fleury autograph signing at First and Goal next weekend, September 20th, out there at South Hills Village. Again, we can't appreciate the guys enough, Mark and Tony at First and Goal Sports, for supporting the show. We really do appreciate it. And we want to thank you guys who follow along with the show too. All right, let's get into it. Let's stop messing around here with all the business of Kaboly+Mack.
One little more business real quick.
What?
We should ask our private or faithful commenters, did they enjoy the post-game edition? Should we continue to do that or what?
Judging by the numbers, people enjoyed it. People very much enjoyed the live post-game edition of the show, which I think was good.
Wait till they lose. It'll be really a lot of
they'll roll. Then it'll be really off the rails. I don't know if that happens this weekend, though.
What, them lose?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said this weekend. I'm thinking, they going 20-0?
No. Come on now. Relax. RELAX, to quote the Hall of Fame quarterback. Thanks to the Dan Heck team, too. Heck Team Homes. You're looking to buy or sell a home in the Pittsburgh area. They're the ones to get a hold of. HAECK, HeckTeamHomes.com. We appreciate them supporting the show as well. Whatever kind of home you're looking for, downsize, big home, large growing family, or whatever, anything in between. You can get a beautiful home and sit on your back porch and have an ice cold iron as Kaboom shoves his hat into the camera. Is this sustainable, Mark? That's the big question we're all asking ourselves.
You sitting on the porch in the fire and drinking an iron.
That's always
you mean a game.
That's always sustainable. What the Steelers did on Sunday. Like,
I should talk about our beer more, because I went to the beer Duffy's the other day, and the 10-year-old goes, "Why do you always drink beer?"
Because it tastes good and it makes me feel nice.
Mongo. Okay, get down to business now.
Is this sustainable? Can they keep this up? The
offensively, or
yes,
I think it's going to be ebb and flows. The offense won't be as good as it was the other day, and the defense will pick it up. As long as you have one, not both of them down here, I think you have a good chance of being sustainable. Let's not forget the Jets aren't a very good team.
Yeah,
they're missing some key pieces, but that's not to take anything away from them. Like I said the other day, man, I'd much rather have it this way than the flip side of that. And you can easily fix the defense. I think you can easily fix the defense.
Easily?
You got to get some. Derek Harmon would be bad. I mean, the defense is more easily fixable than if the offense came out and went, 3-and-out, pick it against 49ers. So that's a good sign to me right away. Aaron.
Well, let's
break it, man. It's hard unless he just craps the bed and.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Let's break it down into silos here, rather than addressing the offense as a whole. Can they score 34 points every week? Let's do it this way. Is the way Rodgers played? Let's start with him on Sunday against the Jets. Is that part sustainable? Because I tend to think that even with some of the issues up front on the offensive line and pass protection, Broderick Jones, that it is sustainable. You saw him climb the pocket, get rid of the ball when he was pressured. I know there were a couple sacks, but as long as he's not taking massive hits 3-4 times a week, he's getting rid of the ball quick. Guys were schemed open, it looked like, more often than not. I know I questioned some of Arthur Smith's calls, a couple of them on 3rd and long when we talked right after the game on Sunday. But the more you look at the tape and just the way guys, again, were schemed open, like the Calvin Austin touchdown pass, that tells me that Artie and Aaron have something cooking and that it may be more sustainable than people think.
What are you talking about, man? He's going to be so far behind because he missed OTAs. How is he ever going to catch up? I think we should keep that in the back of our mind if anything ever happens again with a player, that maybe these off-season practices aren't as much as you think they're worth. So just for that. But
okay,
I think they have to sustain. I think they have to get a better run game, or those play actions all of a sudden aren't going to work at all, right? Right now, you probably had to figure that the Jets were at least thinking that Jalen Warren and Gainwell and Caleb Johnson for his one carry would have been able to break it open. Now if they continue to struggle with their run game, then all of a sudden that play action, which he is pretty doggone good at, all of a sudden goes away. And that creates a little bit more difficult situation. So I think they do have to get the run game going. I think they will. I think that's just a matter of, and I've said that before, this is a matter of 4, 5, 6 weeks before they finally, I do think, they're going to get that run game going. So you're going to probably have to be patient with that run game.
So just in looking, and I didn't see a ton of the Niners-Seahawks game on Sunday because we were doing a post-game show, and then, red zone shows every third play or whatever it is.
You're locked in your hotel room.
You had a hell of a time. I can't wait to hear. We need to start a new feature called Kaboly's Travel Log. Or you know what? It's almost Halloween time. Kaboly's Travel Nightmares.
Yeah. Speaking of that, do you think that anybody for Halloween is going to be Philly's Karen?
Oh, definitely.
Oh, I mean, that's just.
I can't believe that, by the way. What is with the epidemic of adults stealing items from kids at sporting events?
It's a ball. Who the heck? I mean, honestly, we're off on a tangent here.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever. If you've ever went to a baseball game, it's free game until the ball is in your hand. If I got to give you an elbow to the freaking throat to get that ball before it hits your hand, maybe I'll do that. Maybe when I was younger. Right now, I just let it go over my head.
Yeah, banana ball.
But, yeah, I mean, even after that fact, maybe she was upset that she thought the ball should have been hers. But as soon as she saw the ball in the kid's freaking glove, okay, man, I just want to let you know that was my ball, but it's, something like that. What are you doing?
You don't even have to say anything. You don't even have to go that far.
Well, if you decide to go and you're that personality to go over and yell at somebody, then you're like, oh, it's a kid, so okay, forget it. Or you just go over and say, like, oh, good job, man. When the guy caught the ball behind me, I turned around and said, high five. I'm like, good catch, my man.
Yeah, what are we doing? I don't understand why adults feel the need to fight with children over baseballs, or like the guy at the U.S. Open who stole the hat from the kid. I mean, why? It's a kid. Let him have the thing. Let them have their moment too. Like what? I've never understood since I was about 12 years old. I've never understood like the people. You ever been at a Pirate game and it's, there's a big empty row of seats, right? And a foul ball lands over there and grown ass men will go sprinting, Chariots of Fire style. You hear the music playing. You see them in slow motion trying to get the ball. And it's like, bro, it's a baseball.
Well, if it's a baseball to get to your kid, maybe. But if you're getting it, putting it in your pocket or putting it in your wife's little hat into the old bag, then you need some help.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me.
But everyone, John Staggerwald out there, it was taking the opposite. And I even tweeted him back. I said, John, you don't even believe this. You don't even believe this, John. You don't.
What the hell were we talking? Oh, Seahawks against the Niners. I mean, McCaffrey.
From the Seahawks to the Karen.
I don't know. I have no idea because I was talking about red zone and somehow you pivoted straight to I
said that she's going to be the Halloween special this year.
Oh, I mentioned Halloween and Kaboom's Travel Nightmares. Yeah, that might have to become a feature. Back to what we were talking about. Jesus, it's hard to keep us on task sometimes. 69 yards on 22 carries for Christian McCaffrey this past weekend. The Seahawks limited the Niners as a team to just a little more than 3 yards a carry. So I'm not trying to take too much from a Niners game played in Seattle to coming east for the Seahawks. 1 o'clock start. We know that's always a big storyline. But it wouldn't appear that if the Steelers' run game is going to break out, it's going to happen this weekend, which means you're probably going to need Rodgers to carry the offense again.
Yeah, I'm just curious what Bridge will take to the game this week. But, yeah, you got to introduce him. You got to let him ride this high right now. I'm not just going to say just because they stopped Christian McCaffrey, who knows how healthy he was, that I'm not going to sit there and try to run the ball at least. I mean, let's see how that gets first. But if Seattle's hell-bent of trying to stop them to run the ball, then you're not going to run the ball. So I still think you got to give it the old college try here. I mean, maybe feature Jalen Warren more earlier in the game and Gainwell later. But I don't think you just say, well, they didn't give anything against 49ers, so we can't do it.
See, I have no problem going into it with the same game plan that they had more or less against the Jets, which is just get the ball in the air early. It doesn't have to go deep downfield. Get Freiermuth involved. Get Metcalf involved. Maybe Gainwell out of the backfield, Warren, whoever it is, and get Rodgers in a rhythm again, because that was the difference. You know, we look back at the last, 5 years post Roethlisberger, and the difference was when they couldn't get the run game going early against opponents, they didn't have a quarterback who could carry the offense, who could get things moving. And again, it's Russ, it's Fields, it's Pickett, it's Trubisky, even Mason to an extent. None of them, not to harp on the same thing I said on Sunday afternoon, but none of them do what Rodgers did this past Sunday. So, if they're going to try and shut down the run game, Seattle, I say, hey, all right, we'll let Rodgers try and beat you because he just did it against the Jets.
There's other ways to simulate the run game. I mean, we saw that they're pretty good at doing some screen passes. If it's wide receiver screens, tight end screens, if it's running back traditional screens, they're able to do that. The quick passes, you can get around it to a degree, but if you want to create some of the bigger plays, like the Skoranek play, I believe was on the play action. I think Calvin Awesome might have been too, to get those chunker plays where, people were running free. I think you need to be able to run the ball a little better here. So, I mean, they didn't even use all their – first of all, can we finally lay to rest the difference between DK Metcalf and George Pickens? I think that comes shining through brightly there, maybe just for the fact that he doesn't need to have those big plays to be successful. He can take those small throws and get down the field and have the 4 for 80. Plus, they barely used Freiermuth. They didn't use Washington. They didn't use Roman Wilson at all. So there's still other options here, but you got to be careful. I mean, you can't all of a sudden think that they're never going to get stopped, right? They're never going to have a bad play, a bad throw, a sack, or, just a struggling whole game offensively. So that's going to come. It's just how you get by that a little bit. So it was a good start. I mean, you can't complain, except for the defense. But
yeah, we could definitely complain about
part of their defense.
Yeah, most of the defense. Thanks to the family at Higgins Professional Painting for supporting the show. They've jumped on board this season as well. They've been doing it in the Pittsburgh area for 4 decades now. Don Higgins founded the company. His family continues a tradition of great customer service. And when you got decades of industry experience, it means you got the perfect people for walking into your home and knowing exactly what to do to revamp the space. Interior, exterior painting. Maybe you got a business, commercial, industrial painting. They'll do that as well. Drywall repair. They make everything look brand new. Maybe you've been in your home for years and you haven't had it painted. And you're like, I'm tired of this look. I want something different. They'll come in, show you exactly what they think works, consult with you. You want a free estimate, get in touch, higginsprofessional.com, or give them a call at 412. It's up on the screen there, 344-0480. Kaboom's going to have them in his house.
Color, I mean, they were already reached out and set up the color consultation. Just like that.
Color consultation.
Not with me. I pass it over. I pass it upwards.
Yeah. Hand it off to the boss. Let her do all that.
They're rocking and rolling.
My wife would repaint the house every year if she could. So no doubt when they're done at your place, she's going to want them over here. Plus, we have kids in and out of the house all the time like you, so the walls get beat up. Can't wait to have them over here.
They can do it all. They can do it all.
Once you've had them done painting your stately mansion over there, HigginsProfessional.com. Get a hold of them. So here's the thing. Do they have a wide receiver too? Is it decided? I know it's 1 week, but like Calvin Austin, and I know I mentioned he was schemed open on the one touchdown catch, but like Calvin Austin looked like a legit wide receiver too. And you got people already climbing the walls about, well, Tyreek Hill may be available. This is an organization that's gone out of its way to get rid of the headaches. Tyreek Hill, I imagine, would be on his best behavior once traded to a new team, if that's something that the Dolphins are looking to do. But I don't know if it's worth it if you've already found your wide receiver too.
I mean, you got two guys right there at 1 and 2. If Calvin Austin's 2 is averaging 17.5, 21 yards per reception the other day. And what are we looking at here for Calvin Austin? Played 80% of the snaps. Calvin Austin plays 80% of the snaps, and Scotty Miller plays 16%. And who am I looking at here? Where's our guy?
How much did Roman Wilson play?
That's what I'm looking for. I can't seem to find him. Where's Roman at? That Roman Wilson. 10 snaps. 10 compared to 45. So
okay, let's hit
in their mind, obviously right now is Calvin Austin. I don't think he did anything to discourage that right now. Maybe it's more scheme related. But Calvin Austin, man, I'm telling you, I told you that months ago that I wanted to see that matchup alongside each other, the 6'4", 250-pounder who can run the 4.5, and the 5'7", 130-pounder who can run the 4.1. And how are you going to be able to address that if you're a defense? I think that's very interesting. I think the size difference and how that it makes it difficult for the defense.
I think it's not to say that it's more interesting, because having a legit second wide receiver who you can rely on, like Austin, and they definitely relied on him in some big moments this past Sunday, is interesting. But the fact that Roman Wilson played fewer snaps than Scotty Miller, that's not a good sign for a guy that we thought might be due for a breakout.
What Mike Tomlin was going to say, I'm not here about counting snaps.
Yeah, but that's a pretty clear indication that, and look, they're not going to roll 4 wide receivers out there all that often, but that makes it sound like Roman Wilson is a clear number 4.
Well, you figure Skoranek, Wilson, and Miller had almost the same exact snaps, 10, 10, 9.
So
what does that tell you? I mean, it's hard to have 3 wide receivers out there when you got 3 tight ends out there, right? If Washington's playing half the snaps and Freiermuth's playing half the snaps and John, who's playing more than half or 2/3 of the snaps, it's hard to have 3 guys out there. Well, I mean, that could change depending on scheme. I mean,
it could. And look, I don't have a problem. One of the things that kind of flew under the radar just a little bit, and I know you laughed about it when I mentioned it on Sunday because he averaged like 5 yards a catch or whatever it was Jonnu Smith. I thought had a really solid game. I mean, because he can do wide receiver like things, like taking the little shovel pass on a jet sweep and running it into the end zone. Like those are the kind of things that like Roman, I don't know if Roman Wilson can do that. Maybe he could have, but I'll take Jonnu Smith on the field because of that dual threat ability over Roman Wilson.
Yeah. I mean, Jonnu might have just matched up better against them. I don't know. We'll see that. But I would like to see Freiermuth out there more than 48% of the snaps. But eventually you're going to have to cut it off somewhere, right? If you're having Gainwell play that much, you're going to lose it somewhere else. So I think that's fine. As long as – and the biggest key is when you spread out the snaps like that is if somebody gets a sore butt. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't come across to me that any of these guys will.
No.
George Pickens like, what are we doing? Scotty Miller's probably like, all right, I'm glad I freaking made the team. Skoranek probably thinks he should be the starter. But, you're not going to get people sitting there outwardly complaining that they're not getting enough snaps and stuff like that. So maybe last year was different.
which loops back around on the whole Tyreek Hill thing that people are going to start beating the drum for. Tyreek Hill, no matter where he ends up, and look, I think more than likely, if the Dolphins are going to trade him, he'll end up in a place like back in Kansas City because that just seems too perfect for the Chiefs.
What about as Donald Trump called him? Tua tag on the. I still can't pronounce his name either. So
Tua Tagovailoa. It's not hard.
Wow, when you're just looking at it for the first time, but you're a professional radio guy.
Mr. Three Picks. You can call him that if that's easy.
Hey, welcome to Why Won't Know. I'm Chris Mack out here at the Amphitheater.
I've never talked like that in my life. I don't even think when I was in college.
We're live up here in Pool City for a special pet show. I'm Chris Mack.
What are you even trying to impersonate? Like, you're trying to do like Walter Cronkite in the 60s. Hello, we are live. No, that's not how it works. Anyway.
He was pronounced dead on, that's Howard Cosell. Dead on arrival.
So you're right about nobody having a sore butt, and that's why I don't think. Now, look, if the receiving core goes in the tank over the next 3 weeks, and the Dolphins do actually look interested in trading Tyreek Hill, I don't believe for a second that Omar wouldn't pick up the phone and feel it out. But like, I don't know how serious they would be about that, given, like I said, they've done their best to eliminate all the headaches and distractions. And I think Tyreek Hill coming into this offense would be a major distraction.
I'm sure other teams out there would like him even beyond Kansas City as well.
Sure.
This is based off of one game now, but I haven't heard. I'm sure he's probably chirping a little right now. If not, just wait till next week after that performance the Dolphins put on. Wow. And I think Waddle's hurt now, right? Or at least he hurt his shoulder. It's not going to get good down there. It's going to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah. So I don't foresee that being in the Steelers' future, again, because Calvin Austin looked so good, and they've got enough weapons to fit on the field at the same time now as it is, with all the tight ends that you mentioned, and DK looking like a true wide receiver one. The best place to watch the games, if you're not going to the game itself, Archie's on the south side, 80-cent wing nights tonight, tomorrow night, Thursday night. Get on down there. Open Saturdays and Sundays all day long for all the games with all the beers you need. I mentioned the wings. The wings are delicious. We'll attest to that. But great sandwiches, burgers, flatbread pizzas too. Get down to Archie's, Pittsburgh's best place for food, drinks, and sports. And have all the ice-cold irons you could possibly want while you're watching a Steelers game or any other game for that matter. We appreciate Arch supporting the show.
I was so close to stopping by yesterday as I made my way back out to the airport.
Back out to the airport. Let's talk about Kaboom's travel nightmares before we get to something more depressing, which is the Steelers' defense outside of Jalen Ramsey. You were supposed to fly to Newark, New Jersey on Saturday night, right? You were going to get in. You're going to get to the hotel. Late afternoon, early evening, like dinner time, right?
Depends on whose dinner it is, but yeah.
Okay. So you were going to be able to settle into the hotel room, get a good night's sleep, get over to MetLife Stadium at a decent time, all that. And then, boom, you get to the airport and your flight is canceled.
Yeah, they give you a text message, by the way. It says,
while you're at the airport. Are you already through security and all that?
I'm on the way. Your flight has been canceled. Log on to here to see your options.
Oh, my God.
Like, oh, geez. You log on. It's like, they already rebooked me at 6 a.m. on Sunday. Like,
oh, my God.
6 a.m. I said, let me do my math. It takes me 45 minutes to get to the airport. I'm like, I got to wake up at like 3:30.
Oof. So did you at any point consider just saying, screw it, I'm going to drive to New York. I'll get up at like...
Did you happen to see my car from the training camp?
That's true. Would that thing make it to New Jersey and back?
Maybe make it up there, but the point is the rental car places were obviously shut down on Sundays, so you can't get a rental car on the fly. So okay, whatever. I'll go out there without a hitch, man. 6 o'clock. We were up in the air, and I was landed at 7 o'clock.
Oh, so plenty of time now to get to the stadium, right?
got the Uber. Said, I'll go straight to the stadium.
Sure.
Straight to the stadium because, if you go to a road stadium, it's impossible to find the media entrance. You have to ask 116 different people before they're like, like, you're working for it. But got there, blah, 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 fine. Nothing wrong. Okay, we'll deal with this. After the game, did the post game, blah, blah, blah. Wrote some stories. I'm like, I'll get a ride with the great Jeff Hathorn over to the hotel because it's like,
get a good night's sleep and then come home on Monday.
Get there, he drops me off. He's driving back, so he leaves.
Okay.
And I go in there. I'm like, I got my reservation. I'm like, oh, we don't have a reservation. What are you talking about? He goes, oh, there's another one right down the street. It must be that one. I'm like, no, it's this one. She goes, oh, let me see. Oh, she goes, oh, you didn't show up yesterday, so we just put you down as a no-show.
Yep.
I'm like, wait a second. I prepaid for this room for 2 nights. You got my money.
Mm-hmm.
And you said a no-show, so you want me to pay again just to rebook the room that I already paid for that you decided to give away? Meanwhile, the day before that, I did call up the place.
Yeah.
Because mostly I was going to call up and say, hey, can I get my money back for missing the first night?
And they would have told you no.
Yeah,
but at least you would have been able to have a room on the second night, presumably.
Yeah. So I call that ring, nothing. Call again, ring, nothing. When I got there, I understand why. What type of a establishment it was. You walk in and you smell like you're in Snoop's basement, along with a bunch of freaking dogs running around the place. You're like, what is going on here?
Were you staying at somebody's house in Newark?
How are they in Express or something? I don't even know what that was. So she's like really mean. You got to move to the side and call secondary party. I'm like, whatever. So I'm like, I got to make a decision here. I am not paying for another room just out of principle alone.
Sure.
No. Kiss my. I mean, first of all, you stole my money. Then you want me to do it. I could see keeping my money if I didn't show up or saying, oh, okay, we'll just rebook you. We got 50 hotel rooms left. No.
Right.
You got to pay again. I'm like, get the hell out of here. So I know the trip guys are leaving from the stadium. I call them up. What do? I try to call whatever it is, customer support. I can't get through to anybody. I got to make a decision, man.
So you rode back with Rudder and Adamski?
Oh, yeah, and Adamski, man. He and Chaz in like a Nissan, whatever. Buzzsaw's in the front seat. Hey, you okay back here? I'm like, yeah, if you're like laying on my lap, Buzzsaw.
He's got long legs. He's a tall dude.
Yeah, but he put it all the way back and it was like on my lap. So 5.5 hours of that was not conducive to a guy with bad knees and bad legs. So we ended up getting home about 3:30, 4 o'clock, whatever, blah, blah, blah. We went to the Clinton Street Diner in New Jersey. Proceeded to spend all yesterday on the toilet. I'm not kidding there. And then yesterday I start calling up this place and start complaining about them screwing me over this hotel room. They're like, sure. Okay, we will call up and see if they can give you a one-time courtesy, blah, 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 blah. We'll get back to you in a half hour. That's been 24 hours ago. I'll call again. I'm getting the money back. I don't care. You're not going to screw me like that. So
you got the ride. You got the ride home.
Yeah.
From Rudder, I presume.
But the car was still in the airport.
Your car was still at the airport.
Yes.
So you had to get a ride out to the airport yesterday.
Yeah.
To get your
No,
car.
It wouldn't have mattered because they charged by the day. So I got there at like 4 o'clock in the morning. So I was going to pay the second day regardless there, right? So that wasn't that big of a deal.
Jesus.
But to take the kids and the wife and have to go out there and then come back, it's like 9 o'clock.
Oh my God.
It's just a disaster. It's an absolute disaster.
This has been chapter 1 of Kaboly's travel nightmare.
Why does it always happen to me? Last week it was the damn ball over my head. Week before that was the car. You know.
There will be something next week too, I'm sure.
What the hell?
Next week Boston,
should be fine.
Right?
It's a home game, so I should be fine.
No, but next week 3, Boston.
Boston. The good thing about this is I looked at Joe Rudder and said, what plane you're taking, what hotel, and I just absolutely did the same thing he did. I didn't have to think, and there's always a backup right there with him. So
Jesus.
It's like I need he was my own travel agent, though. But you believe it? Have you ever heard this crap? Prepaid a room, and they said, "Oh, you're not coming because you didn't show up the day before. So we're just going to keep your money. You can rebook another one for $100, whatever the heck it was." Something has to be illegal about that. Has to be.
Well, no, you prepaid, so they had your money.
Yeah,
so
which is crap. I thought prepaying would help. Apparently, it doesn't. Don't ever do that again.
No, don't do that. Don't prepay. I feel like the dude in The Big Lebowski, where he turns to John Goodman and he's like, "Jesus, Walter, why is everything a catastrophe with you?"
Yes, it's true. Plus, I get home, slept an hour last night. I had to finish some of the stuff that I was supposed to do when I got back to the room, so I'm late on that. The kid has to go to school, so I had to take him up to school. By the time I get back here, calling up the place and yelling at him, I go to bed finally like at 11 o'clock, slept for an hour, and I'm right back at it.
Well, like you said, good news. Home game this weekend. So all you got to deal with is the traffic.
I'm sure something will happen.
Way to stay positive. Good job by you.
I wasted about 20 minutes worth of our podcast time there, but
yeah, but I knew you needed to get it off your chest.
I mean, don't ever prepay this bullshit about. We thought you were a no-show, so we'll cancel the thing you pay for 2 days from now. What the hell?
That's the way the system.
It wasn't my choice. The damn flight was canceled.
Well, they didn't know that your flight got canceled.
Well, if they would have picked up the phone, they would have known.
Fair point. Thanks to Impact HVAC for supporting Kaboly+Mack as well. If you want to get your furnace checked out before it gets cold out later this fall, get a hold of them. You could message them on Facebook at Impact HVAC PGH, or just pick up the phone and give them a call, 412-297-1852. Maybe you want to get the AC looked at because it's not working well for you, and it's still a couple days, a little warmth here and there left in what I guess we would still technically consider summer. They'll come on out, check out your system, whatever you need looked at, tell you if it's just a maintenance issue, repair, replacement. Impact HVAC PGH on Facebook, or give them a call, 412-297-1852. Now that you got all that, the Kaboom travel nightmare off your chest, back to the other nightmare from this weekend, the defense. I can think of two people. I shouldn't say that, because I mentioned Chuck Clark and Juan Thornhill playing more late in the second half when Ramsey was almost exclusively at corner, and those two were playing safety, and especially Clark. I think they both ended up with 8 tackles or something. They both played well, I thought. So I shouldn't say just two, TJ Watt and Jalen Ramsey, but there were not a lot of names on the defense that you would shout out for a great performance on Sunday. How they fix this before Kenneth Walker III or whatever the Seahawks want to do to them, come in here, Zach Charbonnet, come in here and run all over him.
I don't think that if you know Kenneth Walker, has pretty much not been very good, or at least where he thought to be over his first 3 years. But I don't think he's one of those points. It's a tipping point of just being another dude. I think. I don't know about Charbonnet. I haven't really dumped into Seattle and their offensive line play, but you would have to imagine that this defense has a little bit of pride, right?
Well, I thought the same thing last December and January.
Well, that was just talent there, man. The lack of. Did you see what Derrick Henry did against the best team in the AFC the other day?
Yeah, that was.
He tends to do that to people from time to time.
He does.
And Saquon Barkley a couple of weeks before that, which they held pretty much in check.
Yeah.
Tends to do that to people from time to time.
Well, my concern is that they sell out to try and stop the run. And even if they don't get steamrolled, it still leaves them susceptible on the back end because
Arnold?
I mean, yeah, even against Arnold. Look what Justin Fields just did the other day.
Wow, Justin Fields, I could hit some of those throws.
Well, maybe Seattle's got some of those, and they've got some open throws. Jackson Smith and Cooper Kupp they have now, who had all of 2 catches this past weekend. But my point is, if you can't stop the run, you're not going to win more often than not. If you're going to get steamrolled in the run game the way they did by the Jets, they're going to lose more games than they win, Mark.
Well, I understand, especially in this division with teams that like to run the ball. I mean, Baltimore, I guess Cleveland to a degree. Cincinnati really crapped the bed the other day. So I forget who else they play here. Buffalo. I guess Buffalo. Whatever. Yeah, obviously they're going to have to stop the run. And I think that's really in their minds this week. It should be in their minds every single week, right, to stop the run. But I would be absolutely stunned if they don't come out there and just totally shut down this run game and make it a Sam Darnold. I don't even know who their tight end is. I was going to say Will Dissly, but I don't even know if he plays for him anymore.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
I don't know. Seattle. Man, imagine being Seattle and driving 5.5 hours, flying 5.5 hours here.
To get anywhere.
How miserable would that be? Like how many
They
times
don't have Will Dissly anymore.
I didn't think so.
AJ Barner and Elijah Arroyo.
Yeah, exactly. Tight ends. Exactly. Who exactly on Seattle's team scares you? Smith and Jigba, yes.
Offensively, yeah, Smith and Jigba.
Charbonnet can freaking he can
Charbonnet.
I call him Charbonnet. Charbonnet. He can bust it if you allow him to do that, but I'm not a big Sam Darnold guy. Like I said, I think this one might be a little bit more simpler than the last one.
So you think the Seahawks are worse than the Jets?
Yeah. Probably very similar. You have to understand the Jets had something to play for, too. It's not like that was just an Aaron Rodgers return day to the Meadowlands. That was probably Aaron Glenn's, hey, I was right type of game about you, Aaron.
That didn't work out too well.
Yeah, it didn't work out. It was probably the game where Justin said, hey, you know what Aaron Glenn said to you, Aaron? Well, the Steelers said that to me last year. So,
yeah, no, there was all kinds of storylines and motivation on both sides. That's the reason it was a week 1 game. The NFL isn't stupid. They know what they're doing when they make their schedule. And this one has decidedly less motivation for external reasons on both sides. It always seems, and I know it's not always the case, but it always feels like the Steelers play a September early season game against one of these NFC West teams or some team that they just don't play all that often at home. It's a beautiful sun-splashed afternoon on the north side. And look, a couple years ago, it was San Francisco, and it was a really good Niners team, and the Steelers, well, weren't that good. And they got their asses handed to them. I don't suspect that, but I don't know. It feels like these games always have a weird vibe around them.
Yeah, you're talking about the Kenny Pickett game, right?
Yeah.
I mean, let's think about it here. When was the last time the Steelers? Oops, I'm trying to look it up while I'm talking here.
Don't do too many things at once. You're going to hurt yourself.
When was the last time well, I guess they won here in 19 with that Russell Wilson play, but they've played in Pittsburgh. Let's see here. Since the turn of the century, they've played 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 games in Pittsburgh, 1-5.
You think there's anything to the whole traveling east thing and playing at 1 o'clock?
No, they should be used to it. My goodness, they fly from Seattle to Miami like I go to here to the South Side.
Right, but like the 3 time zones thing is legitimate. Like you think about when you fly back east from going out west.
We're talking about, you ever ride one of those planes? I rode this team plane for like 10 years. And then, the Steelers aren't really put you up in luxury right there too. But still, you go to the airport, you walk onto the plane, you fly, you get the police escort to the hotel, police escort.
Yeah, it's not about like the usual nonsense. Like, they're not going through TSA, obviously, and taking their shoes off and all that.
But it's their own TSA. But what I'm saying is, then after the game, boom, you're home. I mean, they were probably home before. I know they were home last week before the hotel told me to stick it. And that was like 7 o'clock. I mean, that's how quick it is. But what I'm saying is, first of all, they're used to it. They probably have a really nice plane. It's not like the old U.S. Air type thing like this, middle seat type of crap.
Not like Major League where they're taping up the propeller before they give it a push and take off.
Obviously, it's probably not ideal. You'd much rather play at home, but if you spent any time with the Seattle Seahawks, I mean, every single flight, every single road game is like a 3-hour flight.
See, it's not so much about the flight and the travel. It's about the time change because they're going to leave on Saturday morning, right?
Well, sometimes they leave. I know the Steelers did that a couple times going out that way. They left on Friday.
Even if they leave on, and I don't know what their plans are, we can find out later in the week. Even if they left Friday afternoon, right? Straight from the facility, let's get on the plane. It still takes your body about 24 hours to adjust to all that at least. And you're still waking up at like 10 a.m., not waking up, playing a game at 10 a.m. on your body clock, which means you were up and on the bus at 5 a.m. in your brain's mind.
Well, they're always up that early. I mean, I think they got to be at the facility at 7 a.m. all the time. Or something like that. They get there early. First one in, last one out. What happens in 2 weeks when they're done practicing Thursday, fly to Ireland on Friday?
I think it could be a disaster. Well, that's for both teams, though.
Yeah, both teams have to do that. I believe there's no place to practice over there, so they'll do a walkthrough. So that would be more difficult to me than say 49. I would say the Seahawks coming here.
Okay. You just mentioned the 1-6 or whatever it is coming to Pittsburgh in the last 20 years.
If you look at the Steelers' record on the West Coast, like Oakland, Seattle, L.A., not the old San Diego, it's not very good. Not a very good record, especially in Seattle. So maybe I'm arguing my own argument here.
I don't know what you're doing, but I don't think it's as big a factor as people make it out to be, but I do think it is a factor. Not because the travel's terrible or they're sitting in coach and getting a little tiny cup with 3 ice cubes of Diet Coke or whatever, but because your body clock has to adjust.
They put that crap on me on my flight. They gave me like a little sip of something. I'm like, what is this?
A little bag of pretzels.
There was like 3 pretzels in it.
I mean, it was a 30-minute flight. What did you want?
At least give me something more than 2 ounces of liquid.
Let's go over our picks real quick, and we could talk about what else happened this week.
I have no idea who I picked.
You went 10-6, and I went 10-6.
I win, though, because...
Why?
I probably had a better win somewhere than you.
We both got the Chiefs.
Raiders.
We just hold your water.
You were putting the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
The hell I was. Win 6 or 7 games, and everybody will go crazy. Oh, Mike Vrabel made a 3-win improvement. Mike Vrabel. Chiefs beat the Chargers. We both got that wrong. We both had Arizona over New Orleans. I will give you a big hearty pat on the back for one game in particular, and that is calling the Colts over the Dolphins. I had the Dolphins. I didn't think Miami would look like absolute dog shit, but they did.
I said the Colts were going to win the division. Didn't I say the Steelers will go to the Colts for a first-round playoff game?
No, you did.
I said that.
You the Steelers going to the Ravens, but whatever. You did. You predicted the Colts would win that division. Who knows? Maybe that's a possibility. Although
I said the Raiders are going to be in the playoffs too. So
you did. You did. You had them beat New England, which you got that one right. I got it wrong. We both had Washington over the Giants. Russ probably going to be out of a job by week 4, the way things are going. I had Jacksonville over Carolina, so you got that one wrong. I got it right. We both had Cincy. I didn't think they'd survive by the skin of their teeth due to a bad kicker, but they did. We both had Tampa, by the way, another missed kick. That got us that one over Atlanta. I had the Niners. You had the Seahawks, so I got that one right. I had Chicago over Minnesota, so I got that one wrong. Hold on. Let me make sure. Did I have this right? No, you may have been 11-5, and I may have been 9-7. You may have really whooped me here because I had Minnesota and Chicago backwards. So, yeah, you know what?
You're trying to cheat me here. I see what you're doing.
Nope, 11-5 for you, 9-7 for me. You win picks on the first week. We both got Detroit wrong.
You know what that means? Right. One more day closer, you dyeing your hair.
It's week 1, pal.
Dyeing your hair.
17 in the playoffs to go. Okay.
We going week by week, or we just doing overall record?
Oh, overall record.
Okay.
Relax. You got a 2-game lead after 1 week of picks. There's 16 games every week. I'll come back on you. Don't worry.
11-5, baby. I'm always good at picking until I put money on it. Then I lose them all.
Yeah. So don't bet on any of
It's
these.
unbelievable. It's unbelievable. When I worked for that previous place, I refused to mention their name. We
Yeah.
used to do that, and I won I have a trophy here somewhere. I don't know where it is. I have to find it. It's the pick winners of something or another, and it was a really stupid trophy, by the way. It's like a horse. I don't understand it. I have to find it somewhere. But I was like the number one in the country or something like that a couple years ago. I put money on something. Lose.
So don't put money on it.
I even have people randomly DMing me, "Hey, you do those picks again?" No.
Well, I'm going to start putting them up every week so people can track them, and then they can
money
blame
line,
you.
I'm a baller on money line unless I bet them.
We both got Detroit wrong. You got Rams and Buffalo. I had Houston and Baltimore. Same with Minnesota, Chicago. You got it with a massive J.J. McCarthy comeback. I did not. We both had the Steelers. Anyway, what surprised you the most about this week one, Kaboom? Was it Buffalo, Baltimore? Was it J.J. McCarthy last night? What was it?
That was the 3 minutes I fell asleep in the back of Rudder's car that it turned from 41 to 21 to 20, whatever the hell the final score was. I just heard, what's the guy that does the play-by-play on Sunday night? Just screaming. I woke up.
Kevin Harlan.
I'm like, what the hell happened?
Kevin Harlan.
The guy last night always cracks me up. Who's the Monday night on the radio? He doesn't believe in punctuation.
I can't. Maybe it's Harlan.
He's on the further line in just one tone, no punctuation. To the 42-yard line, first and 10. I'm like, this guy's driving me nuts. But yeah, I would say Baltimore chucking up that loss would be the biggest surprise.
Yeah,
because they're dominating that game. Physically dominating that game.
If Derrick Henry has that kind of game against anybody, the Ravens should win. But this is like a pattern now with Harbaugh. I saw somebody put together a graphic of all the games that they've lost with a fourth quarter lead now in the last 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, but did you take that for what it's worth, or did you have to then go look it up?
I didn't go look it up because there were enough credible sources talking about the number of fourth quarter come from ahead losses they've had.
When is Derrick Henry going to look old?
Never. He's an alien. He's an alien sent to this planet to just destroy the game of football. But then the rest of his team craps the bed. 18 carries, 169 yards. He looked unbelievable.
And one nice right cross from Lamar Jackson to.
Well, keep your hands off don't smack a player in the head when they're running by.
You're a kid.
It wasn't the smack on, who was it? Zay Flowers? Is that who it was?
It was D-Hop.
DeAndre Hopkins. It wasn't the smack on Hopkins' head so much as when Lamar came behind him, he really smacked him across the head and the face if you look at it. And so Lamar went back and was like, hey, keep your hands off of me, which I don't blame him. Keep your hands off of him.
Yeah, you would know about that.
This isn't Lambeau. It's not like they're jumping into the crowd and right into your lap. They're running by.
Deflection. Deflected back, Andre Fleury.
Kick save and a beauty. All right. So the Ravens are 0-1, which is nice. The Bengals barely beat the Browns, which is nice.
Our buddy Dan Orlovsky saying, I am so pumped by the Cincinnati Bengals after that game. They looked at me like, what the hell are you talking about? Wow, they played good defense. They played against the Browns, Dan.
Yeah. Flacco threw for almost 300, too.
That was not a good performance by your Cincinnati Bengals.
I will say, I might have to admit, it's one game, but I freely admit when I'm wrong. I might be wrong about J.J. McCarthy. He looked really good. He looked really good in the fourth quarter last night.
Yeah. That's because you don't like Michigan. You're a Penn State homer. We understand.
It has nothing to do with that.
Exactly everything to do with it.
It has nothing to do with it.
I know how you Penn State people roll.
Has nothing to do with where J.J. McCarthy went to school.
I'm telling you, you're lying.
Okay. You believe that I'm lying, and I'm going to tell you that it's just because.
If you trace it back, it always comes back for you to Penn State.
Oh. It does not.
It does.
I can't. Blasphemy.
I'm surprised you haven't said, boy, we got a good wrestling team. That's every time your football team loses, we got a good women's volleyball team. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about football.
Great athletic success. Thanks to the friends at the Third Due First In podcast for supporting the show as well. Firefighter First Responder podcast. If you're in that life, then you know it's crazy. You can hear some other crazy stories from Keith and Gino and all of their special guests. If you're not in that life, then just hear it for yourself. It can get crazy. The Third Due First In podcast. Go check it out on social media and on YouTube as well.
I bet you they have some interesting stories about 24 years ago and 2 days from now.
Yeah, we're coming up on. I can't believe. Geez, 24 years. That's wild. I can't even wrap my. Now you've made us both feel really, really old, which we are. So you can go get a shot in your knee, see if it helps you feel better. A quick reminder: keep an eye out on the Kaboly+Mack account on X. We will be retweeting clips, obviously, from the show, posting clips, I should say, from the show throughout the week. We will mention in those posts, hey, all you got to do if you want to have a shot at winning a free ticket to the Marc-Andre Fleury signing September 20th at First and Goal Sports out in South Hills Village is retweeting that post that we put up there and then following on Twitter, the Kaboly+Mack feed on X. September 20th, First and Goal Collectibles in partnership with TSE, a special Marc-Andre Fleury in-store autograph signing out at South Hills Village. Keep an eye out on the Kaboly+Mack social media for all the details on that. You go get a big needle in your knee. Let us know how it works out. We'll check in on the Mike Tomlin press conference in just a little bit, and we can do this again tomorrow. Sound like a plan?
Yeah, it depends on the kids crapping up the storm or vomiting upstairs. I got to see what happens there. But
okay, go check on that maybe. Get him some dude wipes.
Yeah, give him some Pepto. He won't take it though. I love Pepto. I took some yesterday.
Yeah, that fix everything up for you?
Oh, it's freaking a wonderful drug. If you call it a drug, whatever you call it, it's wonderful. I cannot recommend Pepto more.
All right, go get your needle. And we'll watch the Mike Tomlin press conference later. We'll be back tomorrow morning to continue to get you ready for the Seahawks on Sunday afternoon down Heinz Field. I'm not going to call it Acrisure Stadium. It's a dumb name. But we'll do that throughout the week. And make sure you're following on all the social media and subscribed on YouTube as well at Kaboly+Mack. Thanks, everybody, for your support. We appreciate you watching.